Hi, this is Dana with Dana Digital Tutorials, and thank you so much for subscribing to my email list. And as I promised, here is your video on how to convert many of your 20-ounce designs to a 40-ounce tumbler. So the first thing we are going to want to do is use an image upscaler. Upscale the designs that you think are going to work. And you only need to go by 2x, and then you'll need to either use an action to size them back down to 3900. You can create one of those and run it in batch, or you're going to manually open them and shrink them down to 3900 in the width. It will be for the whole image. We'll get to resizing the bottom here in a few minutes. The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to use your marquee tool and test this image. So I'm going to hit marquee. I'm going to go to my fixed ratio just like we did before, 390 by 174, and I'm just going to select and see where it's going to crop. And I can see that this image is cropping in the right place. So I can copy this. So I'm going to hit copy, Command or Control N. It should pick up my clipboard, but if it doesn't, I can just manually type these numbers. 3900 by 1740, put them on a little cheat sheet next to you so you don't forget, and make sure it's 300 DPI. And I'll hit enter, and then I will paste, flatten, and save. I recommend, what I like to do is I will use this same file name here, and I'll just append a -40T for the top or a -40B for the bottom, and also maybe straight and curved if you're doing curved. There are templates that will do the curved for you, but if you want to make that curve, then kind of differentiate in the file name so that it makes it easy for the customer. So now that our top is done, we're going to go, and I'm not going to save in here, but you can save. If you need help saving, I have a video I'll link below that goes over saving in Photoshop. So we're going to go back and make sure your rulers are showing. If you don't see them, Command or Control R will turn them on and off. Click in the ruler area, drag down, pop it right in place. Now we can Command or Control D, deselect, change our ratio to 315 by 111, and then just drag from this ruler on down. What I like about the ruler is the selection actually likes to pop right into where that ruler is if you're close. If that's not happening for you, then under view, make sure you have your snap and all of these things checked. So we would just copy this and we would go new, and I can see here that it did not pick up my clipboard. Remember, I said sometimes it doesn't pick that up. So I can type 3900 by 1110. Hopefully it's in my clipboard because I'm having troubles with that. And I can see that it's not. So we're going to go back over and we're going to select it. I am so sorry that's causing problems. And there it is. So we would flatten, and then we would resize this in going into image size, and we would make it 10.5. And I can see here that I am having trouble with the height not being correct. And why is that? I am not sure. And there it is. I had the ratio unlocked, so we want to make sure that that is locked. And I can see that my height is still off. So we're going to go ahead, and I can see it here. This is more important to me than this. So let's go back over to our original, and I probably did a typo, and I did not. So why is that? I'm not sure. So we'll go and do new again, and now I can see that it is because I typed 39 and I typed 1110, which is the smaller section. So all of these things are going to happen when you're creating, and just know, go back. So I really need this to be, I'm not sure what size, so let's go look. Quick way to find that out is Command T. I can look up here and it's 1374. So we're going to exit out of there, Command N, Command or Control, and change this to 1374. And then I'm going to hit enter. And now when I paste and I flatten and I resize, we should have the right size, not that size. And now I can see we do have the 3150 by 1110. So I just made an error, and it's okay to make errors. So that's why I leave these in the videos, that even with as much as I use Photoshop, I still mess up. So you would hit enter, and then you would save this as the bottom. If you want to create the curved, you could do it here manually, or you could use a bulk tool. And by the way, I do have eventually a video or an e-course coming out where I can show you how to bulk mock-up here in Photoshop without a monthly service. Well, you'll have the Photoshop monthly service, but not like an extra monthly service. So once you're done, you save this. This is your bottom. You go ahead and close it. I'm not going to save it, but you would have it saved. And we're going to head and close these. And we're going to close this one. I'm not going to save anything. And then we're going to close this one. And then we'll look at this one. Now, this image is not a good candidate for my 40-ounce tumbler. I would have to add a lot to the edges and the bottom. And let me show you why. So I'm going to change this back to 390 by 174. And I'm going to show you it cuts right into his eyes. So the two options that I have here is starting over and creating a new seamless tumbler, or going back over into Midjourney and using the editor. So if we go back over to Midjourney and pretend this was our reindeer, we could add the sides about what we need and the height, drop it down, and resubmit it, and Midjourney will do most of the work, and then you can create the seamless, and you'll be able to use this image as a 40-ounce. It just won't be as fast. So I'm going to close that one. And same thing with this one. I am not going to have a very good place to cut. And by the way, you can use that editor like I showed you, but you also could choose to use that as a style reference and do something complementary below, but you will still have to add extra because the 40-ounce top is a lot wider. But I can see that this is not a good option either. I would have to add a lot of extra space. So now this image has the same problem, but because of the design, there is a really cool trick that I learned, and I will show you. So we're going to go ahead and select the area that we want. Woo, we're going crazy. And I can see here that it's still not quite enough, but I do believe cropping the word fear there is okay. So I'm going to copy this and actually put it in its own file, save it as the top, but then I need more space at the bottom. I'm going to show you a little trick. We're going to unlock this. We're going to go back to our fixed ratio normal, and we're just going to eyeball this area. I don't want that white, but we're going to eyeball this area, and we're just going to copy it, okay? And then we're going to increase our canvas by using the crop feature. Because we unlock that, it's going to give us blank area. And we're going to go down here. Now we're going to paste that top. And then we're going to Command T. We're going to flip vertical. And we're going to make this our new bottom. And then we would use generative fill to fill that in. And it turns out really, really cute. And actually, maybe I don't want to flip it. Maybe I want to leave it that way and have that be the bottom. So you can make a choice. I actually like this better, but this would give you enough on the bottom. You would just have to fill this area in and then make sure you have the seamless, but this would convert to a 40-ounce tumbler with a little bit of work, probably less work than a new one, but that is a way that you could do that. So I'm going to close that one. And then you would copy and save just like before. Now this one I probably wouldn't even try, but let's go ahead and look at it. And I'm showing you ones that don't work on purpose, and I can see here this does not. However, I could crop it, say, here and put the word fear on the bottom if I wanted to, and have faith over on the very top. I can create more on the bottom if I need to, but I think this would actually do it. So let's go ahead and look. So that's our top. I'm not going to do the saving again. Let's just go ahead and look. Let's put right here, And now let's change our ratio, 315 to 111. And let's just see if there was enough space on the bottom, and I can see there wasn't. So I would have to increase my canvas, just add a little bit on the bottom, but then this would work. And I can see I cropped a little too low because I wouldn't want that part of that A on the top. I would want it all the way on the bottom. But this image with a little bit of work would convert to a 40 ounce if you get creative in the way you use it. Especially if you have this image and it's a bestseller in your 20 ounce, you definitely want to go through that extra work. Go ahead and make a 40 ounce out of it. So we're going to hit don't save. Now I just wanted to show you this image. I think this image is a lot of fun. It leaves a lot of room for quotes up here. So I can do I would probably do my bottom first here, and I'll show you why in a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and select my bottom and make sure that that flower is on the bottom. And then I would extend the top, add more of that blue, put a quote up there, maybe add another flower or two up there, whatever I felt like doing creatively to create that top. But then you can do these different sections to create your 40 ounce tumbler. I just wanted to walk through these different ones to show you when one doesn't work at first glance, how you can make it work. Just remember, if you're adding more canvas on the top or the bottom or the sides, to go ahead and double check and fix your seamless portion, because you will have messed it up. This is Dana with Dana Digital Tutorials. Have a great day.